to the semifinals. They'll be taking on Barangay Ginebra. Take another look at this beauty. The exclamation point on this upset. Barangay Ginebra about to take down the powerhouse. After exactly 2 months, 2 years, 2 months and 6 days, nakabalik na nga po sa Mall of Asia Arena ang Liga ng Buong Sambayanan, ang ating PBA. And what a time for us to return. Semi-final round na po ng ating Honda PBA Governor's Cup. Kaya naman, napupuno na naman tayo dito on a Wednesday evening as Barangay Ginebra, led of course by Justin Brownlee, will be taking on the NLEX Road Warriors featuring etong si Cameron Clark, pero nandiyan din si Kevin Alas at si Scotty Thompson, dalawa sa mga naghahabulan ngayon para sa best player of the conference ng ating Cubs Cup. Pero ang mas importante, Game 1 na ng ating best of 5 defend or dethrone. Dire-diretso na ba sa finals ang Barangay Ginebra? O itong NLEX, makakarating na ba doon for the first time in franchise history? Coach Ryan Gregorio ang ating kakwentuhan. Ito na tayo, RG.
Hunger is definitely the name of the game for NLEX. This is just the second time in franchise history na makakapasok sila sa semifinals, samantala itong Barangay Ginebra, dominance. Ilang beses nang nakapasok rito sa conference na ito at ilang beses na rin naging champion.
And it did not come easy for either of these teams. Barangay Ginebra had to overcome a twice-to-win disadvantage kontra sa powerhouse TNT Tropang Giga. Samantalang NLEX was given a major scare by the Alaska Aces.
Just an incredible recovery for Ginebra. Coach Jim was quoted at the end of the elimination round na tila bagang discouraged siya sa performance. Pero ito namang NLEX, big gamble. Pero hindi naman talaga sila ang may gusto nun. Nagpalit pa sila ng import after finishing as our second seed after the elimination round. After losing Game 1, nanalo sila nung Game 2 by scoring 96 big points.
Pansin na pansin nga, nung first game, miss na miss nila si KJ McDaniels. Pero in the second game, nagparamdam na itong replacement na si Cameron Clark.
It's actually not a bad import, but of course, he will always be compared to the exploits of KJ McDaniels, who was averaging 30.4 points per ball game. But this guy can play. 24.5 points per game in the quarterfinals, together with 12 rebounds. But in order to win against Barangay Ginebra, he has to shoot better than 42.5% from the field.
Pati itong mga locals ng NLEX featuring yung pinakabagong road warrior na si Justin Chua. He had a super performance in the Clark bubble. That was a couple of conferences ago pa. Pero parang tila nawala na in the last one. Pero ngayon, na-trade siya sa NLEX, nanumbalik na naman ang kanyang laban.
Minor resurgence dito sa career ni Justin Chua after only averaging 5.3 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, 30.6% from the field and 31.8% from the three-point area. Lahat yan on the other side nag-improve. 9 points per game na siya with NLEX. 41.7% from the field and even yung kanyang 3-point shooting nag-improve na to 36.4.
At hindi lang siya, yung isa pang mid-tournament addition nila na si Matt Nieto, solid din para dito kina Coach Yeng.
What is bringing is stability. Only 6.1 points per game but ang daming intangibles na nagagawa niya. 34.2% from the field, 31.3% from the three-point area plus 2.0 assists. This is just the start of his journey and we expect good things dito kay Nieto.
Speaking of expecting good things, yung silent assassin netong NLEX, night in, night out, he won't give you all of the spectacular plays but aasahan mo yung mga ganyang klaseng performance.
He is a two-way player. Look at his averages on offense, 10.8 points per ball game, almost 50% from the field, almost 38% from the three-point area, and close to 6 rebounds. But more than that, he can also play defense. So we expect him to guard Justin Brownlee, the ultra-prolific import from Barangay Ginebra at yun talaga yung task ni Trujano, how to limit the touches and the scoring opportunities of JB.
Speaking of scoring, yan ang sinandala ng Barangay Ginebra San Miguel in the quarterfinal round. Kita mo naman, halos 100 Gs yung tinapo nila sa TNT.
And that is just an upgrade with the way they scored against TNT. You look at their averages, especially in the elimination round on offense, only 102 points per game, pero 109.5 points. But yung kanilang rebounding, I think this is the biggest stat line na talagang nag-improve sila tremendously against TNT. Because prior to this series, they were actually averaging only 45.9 rebounds per game, number 11 in the league. But against TNT, it went up to 51.5%. So you know that this team is getting better. They like their chances against NLEX and expect good things from this franchise.
And you will always like your chances if you're a Ginebra fan. Once you have Justin Brownlee in your lineup, this guy just practically owns the Governor's Cup.
He was just so determined. And the best way is to compare his scoring average in the elimination round. Only 28.6 points per ball game in 11 games. But look at his numbers in the 2 games that they played TNT. It went up to 33.5 points. Even his rebounding, 15 rebounds per game from 10.5 rebounds in the first 11 games. Yung assist niya, it's 4 assists per ball game. A lot better than his previous assist mark nung elimination round. So you know that this guy is legit. He has not slowed down. He is still the best in the league.
Ang isang siguradong legit din aside from LA Tenorio and Scottie Thompson, of course, etong frontline ng Barangay Ginebra. Nakakatakot yung kanilang pinakita in that quarterfinal round. They are finally playing beautiful basketball together.
There is no question about their individual talents. You know that Japet Aguilar can score and look at his averages, not just of points, but pati sa field goal shooting, rebounding, and blocks. Yun din si Christian Stan Hardinger, almost 15 points and then 60% from the field. But more than that, can they complement each other? Yun ang pinakita nila. They played great music together in the series against TNT.
Speaking of playing beautiful basketball, etong mga gwardya is looking to take over. They are 2 of the favorites right now sa karera sa BPC. Siyempre, meron ka pa rin Pauline Mark Baroka. But dito sa ating serye, etong si Kevin Alas and Scottie Thompson, all eyes will be on them definitely.
12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1.5 steals per game for Kevin Alas. And I like the way he has embraced the leadership mantle in this team. What about Scottie Thompson? There was a doubt whether there is going to be a consistent second scorer for Ginebra because of the absence of Stan Pringle. But itong si Scottie Thompson nagpakita na he is not just about the other things, he can also score 20 points per game and league-leading rebounds at 12.5 rebounds per game. Not to mention his assists, also number 1 in the league, 8.5 assists per ball game. Incredible numbers for Scottie.
Good evening, mga ka-PBA, and welcome to our second semifinal matchup. It's time to meet the starting lineups of the protagonists. First, from your NLEX Road Warriors. Starting at forward from Santa Rita, Pampanga, number 33, Tony Samarad. The other forward from Bacolod, Negros Occidental, number 10, Paul Varilla. At center is the Road Warriors import, number 23, Cameron Clark. At guard from Ibahay, Aklan, number 5, Chris Rosales. And also at guard from Las Piñas, number 7, Kevin Alas. Head coach of the Road Warriors is Yang Gao. And now let's meet the starting 5 of your Barangay Ginebra San Miguel. Starting at center from Sasmuan, Pampanga, number 25, Japet Aguilar. At forward is Barangay Ginebra's import, number 32, Justin Brownlee. Also at forward from Bacolod City, number 16, Chip Chan. At guard from Davao del Sur, number 6, Scottie Thompson. And also at guard from Nasugbu, Batangas, number 5, LA Tenorio. Head coach of Barangay Ginebra is Tim Cone. Game officials are Jimmy Mariano Rayante B. Oliva.
So here we go. Just about ready to get game 1 going. Best of 5 po tayo in the semi-final round ng ating Governor's Cup for 2022. The starters have been introduced. It is going to be Clark versus Japet, jumping it up. Ball is in play. Game is brought to us by Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA.
Interesting starting lineup for Coach Sheng Giao. Yun talaga yung asset ni Coach Sheng. Hindi mo talaga mapipredict yung kanyang first 5. 4 small players na kasama itong kanilang import na si Clark. The first shot, he missed.
Kevin Alas, though, is there looking to clean it up. But it is going to be Brownlee who pulls down the rebound. Jeff Chan inserted into the starting unit once again para naman kina Coach Tim. Alas ang matchup niya. Chan gets the drop on him. Iniwan para kay JB. Brownlee off the hezzy. At yan ang talagang trabaho ni Semerad. Sigurado welcome na welcome kina Coach Sheng na nakabalik na itong si Semerad.
2 things he can do consistently. Number 1 is to play physical defense against JP, and the other thing is he will make JB play on defense as well because of his ability to shoot corner 3-pointers.
And just like that, 3-0 na nga ang nasa ating talaan. Tenorio's floater off the window is good.
This guy is just getting better. Habang tumatanda, lalong gumagaling, hindi nagsislow down, hindi nawawala yung kanyang galing sa paglalaro.
The PBA's Iron Man, not just active but all-time Iron Man, still getting it done. Pero sabi ni Kevin, ayos lang yan. Eto, 3 ang sukli niya.
Oh, we talked about this guy. If he's shooting from the outside, consistently pumasok, mas mahihirapan depensahan dahil alam mong ang priority niya is to attack the basket and score on layups. So tinetesting niya kung kaya niyang shoot from the outside, and he made his first shot.
Alas whistled for the personal though. NLEX, the number 2 seed heading into this matchup, goes to, and as Ginebra goes to Brownlee. Alas over at the other end. 2 for 2 para kay Kevin.
A good start here for Kevin. Back-to-back 3-pointers. Total of 6 points for him. So all the 9 points of NLEX were from beyond the white line. So this is exactly what Ginebra did against TNT. They stepped on the white line. They only allowed penetrations more than shots from the outside. So they have to revisit that game plan against NLEX.
Clark, no. Yan din yung ginawa nung Alaska sa NLEX back in game 1 of that mini-series in the quarterfinals. They limited NLEX to only 2 3-point shots.
But in the second game, medyo gumanda na yung shooting from the outside ng NLEX, kaya sila nanalo after just scoring 79 points in game 1. They scored more than 90 in game 2. And you talk about this team, Barangay Ginebra, every time they shoot from the outside, in LA Tenorio accounting for 5 out of the 7 points of Barangay Ginebra. He's really starting like a house on fire here.
Wala pang ang 3 minuto sa ating bakbakan. 9-7 na kagad ang nasa ating talaan. Kevin again. That time around, he was bothered by LA. Barangay Ginebra getting into their set. LA and Japet, pick and roll action. Naunahan ni Clark to sa bounce. Cameron making his move. That's going to be a 3-point play opportunity para kay Clark.
So showing a lot of activity. He was able to anticipate the lob pass and he dribbled the length of the court to get this end-one opportunity.
Dream move na yan natin sa atin ng Honda, the official motorcycle of the PBA.
So the identity is slowly establishing it. Ibang-iba talaga yung dynamics ng kanyang laro compared to KJ McDaniels. Pero wala na silang inaantay na KJ. As far as NLEX is concerned, they're sticking to the same court. And you know that he is also capable of scoring big time as what he did against the Alaska Milkmen or Aces in their quarterfinals round.
Na-quote nga si Coach Sheng, no, na dito daw sa semis, he will be trying his best to get Clark more touches or more looks at the basket. Niluwa yung tres na yan. 11-7 ang nasa ating talaan. Scotty has an opening. Nasaraduan ni Clark. Look at LA try and sneak in. Semerad para sa rebound. Semerad again. 1 for 3 na. Para sa kanya, it's a rebound play. Merong foul. It goes against the import of NLEX.
Loose ball foul will be called against Clark. His first personal foul, and Coach Shengyao animated this early in the ball game. And you know, he coaches with so much passion and emotion at kung hindi siya umaangal, ibig sabihin, nag-agree siya dun sa tawag ng referee.
Pressure in the backcourt being applied by NLEX, but a foul is spotted on Rosales.
His first foul, 3 on NLEX.
Handang-handa yung Ginebra with their press break, and Brownlee takes it right to the defense.
Oh, the advantage of Barangay Ginebra is they have an import who can really put the ball down and break a zone defense or a pressing defense by his lonesome. Yun talaga yung meron pang value, malaking value dito kay JB.
Kevin zigzagging his way to the cup. Nice putback by Semerad.
Oh, this is one thing for Barangay Ginebra. They have to make sure that they limit NLEX just one shot. It has been a problem for them. Yung rebounding, na-address nila against TNT, but now a lot of second chance openings para rito sa Road Warriors.
Japet to the cup. Overcooks it. Napitawan pa yung follow. Clark over to Alas. Two-man game. Clark, pull up. Good para dito sa NLEX.
So showing some range and good start for NLEX. So a little bit of three-point shooting, perimeter game, and aggressiveness of the second chance points.
Chan on the run. Japet couldn't clean it up. At siya pa, malalas touch. Coach Tim calmly watching everything unfold right now. Coach RG, game 1 to of a best of 5. Mas maiksing serye. Iba diskarte kaysa sa best of 7, no?
Yes, you want to start early. There's an advantage for teams who will win game 1, and the percentage of teams na nanalo ng game 1 and winning the series, makikita natin yan, mas mataas yung bentahe ron. But of course, it's not like matalo ka sa game 1, tapos na. It takes 3 wins for these teams to finish the semifinals and to make it to our final round.
Brownlee now with 6 across his number. Apat ang abante ng NLEX. Semerad's got 5. Gives it up to Rosales. Back to Semerad. Do sa kanto, sa kanan. Anthony misses. Clark boards it. Put back. No. At mapupunta na sa Ginebra ang bola. And with only 5:47 remaining in the first, meron tayong timeout. Sa aming pagbabalik, makakakwentuhan na natin si Miss Denise Tan.
This timeout is brought to you by
Check 1, 2, 3, check. Check 1, 2, 3, check. Check, check. Check, check. 1, 2, 3, check.
Substitution. First and 10 for Jump
Welcome back to the Mall of Asia Arena for your PBA. According to Ginebra assistant coach Richard Del Rosario, it is a complete misconception and a trap really to think that NLEX is the underdogs in this series. Sabi niya, NLEX have had their numbers 3 out of the last 4 games na nagtapat sila. Going back to not just the Bacolor bubble but the Philippine Cup as well. At kahit nga daw nawala pa yung KJ McDaniels, Jericho Cruz at Calvin Oftana, they still ended on that number 2 spot. Kaya para dito kay Ginebra, they want to approach this game and start it off with as much energy and aggressiveness as they can. Naniniwala sila. They are of course competitors here, but they also respect what NLEX has done in the last few months. Gentlemen.
Yun ang matindi, Coach RG, dito kina Coach Yang, ano? Yung kulturang binuo niya at itinatak niya dito sa koponan na to, yung next man up mentality, hindi nila masyadong ininda. They lost Jericho Cruz to free agency. They lost that prized rookie Calvin Oftana to an injury. They lost Semerad for a while. And of course, eto si KJ McDaniels had to attend to his family at kailangan palitan. Pero yung NLEX sanay sa ganyan eh.
And that is what separates Coach Yang Giao from the other coaches. Hindi mo kasi talaga alam unang-una yung kanyang rotation. We've talked about yung kanyang starting lineup. It's hard to predict too. But what he's doing is giving confidence to everybody. For as long as you made it dun sa kanyang final 12 o final 14 man yan, you're in the PBA, you are contracted, you're capable of playing big-time basketball. You just have to show it on the hardwood.
17-11 is the score. NLEX with a 6-point lead. Yesterday, I went on social media, Coach RG, and even si Carlo, si kapatid natin Carlo Pamintuan, kakwentuhan natin. We were talking about the fact that how everybody is discussing a possible Manila Clasico final or a possible rematch between Ginebra and Meralco. Not that many talking about NLEX barging into the finals. Does that feed Coach Yang and the rest of his guys? Does that give them fuel?
Yes, and Coach Yang is used to coaching underdog teams. So that can be a fuel to his players na nobody really expected even NLEX to end at number 2 and to be in the final 4 of this particular conference because of the number of people that they lost along the way. At nung nawala nga si Kiefer Ravena, ang sabi nila tuloy-tuloy nang magdadive itong NLEX. But that is obviously not the case. Kevin Alas is playing his best basketball in this conference. Tapos yung mga ibang players nagko-compliment din sa kanya.
Clark, pull up. No. Binanggit mo na yung pag-angat ni Kevin Alas, ano? Nung nawala si Kiefer, nakita mo na umaangat na. Pero na nakakuha sila ng mga reliable point guard. Guys like itong sina Rosales, sila Nieto, lalo pang umangat when Kiefer started playing the 2.
And great eyes para rito.
Kevin rather.
Yes, and great eyes for the coaching staff of NLEX dahil free agency na itong si Rosales eh. So he is not just a roster filler. He actually has tremendous value because of his ability to do 2 things. Number 1, pressure on the ball and shooting from the outside. So ito yung mga unheralded players nitong Road Warriors. Itong Ginebra, more or less you know yung mga kasama sa rotation ni Coach Tim Cone. But yung metric ni Coach Tim Cone is ano ba yung chemistry ni Stan Hardinger and Japet Aguilar. Yun lang siya nagfo-focus and so far so good, especially with how they did things in their series against TNT.
Just over 4 remaining in this opening frame. Ani mga bante ng NLEX. Japet looking around. Gets it over to Scott. Ininakawan ni Kevin yan. And Alas will lay it home. He's got 8 points already.
So far, so good for NLEX. For Barangay Ginebra, they have to get their focus back. It is not enough for them that since they beat TNT, akala nila it's gonna be a walk along the park. Ang importante rito is hindi sila matambakan because at the end of the elimination round, itong Road Warriors, they were averaging close to 110 points per ball game. So you know they're playing offense and their rhythm is really good in the first quarter.
Stan Hardinger trying to bulldoze his way through. Naharangan. No problem para kay Christian.
He is very strong. He's gonna generate space. The moment he gets that momentum to attack the basket and he loses you because mawala yung iyong balance on defense, he's gonna pounce on it.
Rosales from deep. Doesn't work. Japet. Forwards it over to JB. Nakita si LA doon sa kanto, sa kaliwa. LA looks to set this one up. Na-traffic yung bola, 3 kumuyog kay Japet doon.
Miscalculation on the pass of L.A. Tenorio. He wanted that pass inside because Japet Aguilar was guarded by a small player. But prior to that one, anticipation skills, he's averaging more than one steal per ball game, and a lot of points also generated by this guy are coming from the fast break end.
January 17, 2020, binanggit na natin, 2 years, 2 months, and 6 days ago, etong si Japet Aguilar led Barangay Ginebra with 25 points, 8 rebounds, backed up by Brownlee's 24-7-10 and Pringles 17-4-8 to beat Meralco in the finals the last time we played at the Mall of Asia Arena.
And that's what I like about you, partner. You always come in prepared. Can you imagine, meron ka pang listahan yan. Ang tagal-tagal nang nangyari. Tsaka masakit sa Meralco yan eh.
Tingnan mo naman yung Allen Durham, 29 points, 21 rebounds, 8 assists nun.
But still, it was not enough for them to win against Barangay Ginebra.
Stan Hardinger goes back-to-back now, Coach RG, off the bench.
4 total points already for CS. And the lead is down to 6 points.
Who's Semerad? Aggressive in this first frame. He's got 7.
And what you saw in that particular clip is using his quickness. There is no way he can back down a guy like Stan Hardinger. But if he's coming from the outside and he's going downstream, that is where his quickness will come into play. And true enough, not only was he able to make his layup, na-foul pa siya, may chance pa siyang mag-3-point play.
Anthony Semerad missed 6 games para dito sa NLEX. Ang naging blessing in disguise doon, Coach RG, nasama yung 1-month break. Yung 1-month break nating lahat, kaya hindi ganun katindi. 6 lang inamiss niya.
Tama. Pero may drawback rin yan. Dahil kung wala naman tayong break, si McDaniels baka naglalaro pa rin. Diba? So, bumalanse lang. Ika nga.
Yun nga po, si KJ, if unaware pa po tayo, before pa magsimula maglaro sa NLEX, alam na nilang kailangan umuwi ng March dahil manganganak yung fiancé. Hindi naman nila mapigilan ng dulo na dahil hindi pa na tayong tapos by March.
Yes, so it's not like he held his team hostage. Maaga pa lang, sinabi niya na yon, there was a complete disclosure already. And for NLEX, they're just going past KJ McDaniels. And as you can see here in the first quarter, they're playing so well. But Pinto, usually the guy who packs and brings a lot of energy for his team defensively. But since kailangan nila ng opensa, kaya rin naman niya umopensa.
Coming up on a minute remaining in this opening frame. Nice pass, alas to Trollano. Sobrang alang para kay Don. Stan Hardinger on the run once again. Takes it to the shoulder, right to the chest of Clark.
And the timing of JB. It was actually like 2 seconds late. Ang agang hinihingi na half-court mark pa lang, hinihingi na si CS. Sabi ni JB, pasok ka pa dyan. 2 dribbles ka lang. And that is exactly what happened, which resulted to 2 points for Ginebra.
Clark rattles this one home. 12 puntos na para kay Cameron. Sabi ni Coach Cheng, expect more scoring from this guy.
Yes, 24.5 points per game in the first 2 games. And CS, you just know if he gets into a good rhythm and he feels like he has that space to put the ball down, he's going to be unstoppable if it's happening right underneath the basket. He is hard to stop.
Nieto, off the bench, di makakuha. Last shot time para dito sa Barangay Ginebra. It is NLEX by 6, 29-23. LA looking to set this one up properly. It's going to be a foul on Nieto.
Just a fourth team foul for NLEX. And this is a matchup that we've been talking about. If you give this guy a running start and he puts his left shoulder down on his way to his right hand layup, he is really unstoppable. And for Clark, he has to understand that. If you want to limit the scoring options of CS, you have to at least make him go to his left, which is his weaker hand.
Yun yung ginawa nila kay Mikey Williams, no? Pinaatake ng pinaatake sa kaliwa, na-limit nila tuloy. Thompson in traffic, got it to Japet. He was blocked from behind by Trollano. Travel si Scotty dito, so that'll leave 1.8 para sa NLEX to try and end this first.
Tremendous interior defense displayed by the entire Road Warriors. Hindi talaga makahinga sa opensa yung Ginebra.
Nieto has to put one up. Hindi na aabot yan. So matatapos ang ating first quarter na lamang ng 6 ang Road Warriors. 29-23 is the score. Game 1 to of a best-of-5 semifinal series between NLEX and Ginebra. Over on Commissioner's Row, we see Sirs Chan Ki Mian, Sirs YG, si Boss Dennis Uy, may-ari syempre ng Phoenix. Andiyan din si Attorney Raymond Zorilla, General Debold Sinas, Com Willie Marshall, and former PBA Commissioner Chito Salud and Attorney Melin Mendoza. At syempre, nandirito naman sa kabilang side sina Boss Robert Non, sila Boss Alchua. Andiyan din syempre si Boss Eric Areola and si Boss Rosales ng Terra Firma. Everybody in attendance dito sa loob ng Mall of Asia Arena. It's been more than 26 months mula na nakabalik tayo dito. Everybody missed the spot.
Tama yan. At ang ganda pa ng matchup natin dito. Bumalik na rin yung mga fans ng Barangay Ginebra. Nagbalikan na rin yung mga fans ng PBA. Ang daming nakamiss. But for NLEX, it is just playing with good offensive execution and accuracy on offense. They shot 56% in the first quarter. 9 out of 16 to be exact from the field for Ginebra. They simply cannot rely on their offense. They shot 50%, good for 23 points, pero kulang yung kanilang tenacity on defense, and that must be addressed.
Nakita natin, former Commissioner Chito Salud nandirito. He will be the board representative of the newest PBA team in Converge. Pinakilala na kaninang first game with a mini press con. They will have their own press con on April 5th, but it's so nice to see Attorney Chito Salud back in the PBA.
This is where he belongs. I had to shake his hand prior to a tip-off in this game, and I told him it's nice to see you back here, Commissioner Chito, and a lot of great things will happen in the PBA because of a person like him.
And kanina pa nga, sinigurado niyang unahing pasalamatan din si Boss MVP.
Oh, for sure.
For being a true sportsman. Dahil competing product may pagka-competing product sa PLDT yung Converge. Pinayaan ni Boss MVP to be for the sake of basketball.
Yes, it's good for Philippine basketball. We all know that. And Chairman Ricky Vargas also paved the way for Converge to enter. And panibagong spice in the league, and we all need that.
And para makapasok ang isang grupo sa PBA, you need a 2/3 vote. Dilinaw ni Bosscom Willie Marshall. It was an 11-0 vote.
Wow.
Unanimous vote, hindi lang bumoto doon Alaska, but it was unanimous na pwede silang pumasok. Ganun ka-welcoming.
Yes, and good things will really happen in the PBA. Slowly again, the competition, the level of competition will increase. The fans are definitely back. They're engaged again in watching everything that is happening in the PBA. But for Barangay Ginebra, they have to take better care of the leather. They turned the ball over 7 times in the first 12 minutes, while itong NLEX only 1. So you look at our score right now, 33 for NLEX, 23 for Barangay Ginebra. They have to start working hard on 2 things, playing better defense, and again, limiting their turnovers and at least go for baskets instead of giving the ball away.
This is the first double-digit spread of this contest. NLEX really serving notice right here in Game 1. Trollano is with Chua, Kinyahan, Nieto, and Panyamogan. Katapat sina Stan Hardinger, Aguilar, Thompson, Brownlee, and Pinto. John on the move. Gives it up. They swing it to JB to sa kaliwa. Brownlee lines one up. Doesn't work. And it is Chua who pulls down the rebound. Trollano from the right side. Nope. 2.5 into the second frame. Pinto thought about it. Gives it up. Brownlee looks around, goes to the crossover. Stan Hardinger stopping on a dime. Huli ni Kinyahan.
Good timing on the secondary defense by J.R. Kinyahan. Unnecessary for CS to go for that pump fake. He's like 3 inches taller than J.R. Kinyahan, and that fake allowed Kinyahan to be in good defensive stance. Kaya na-blanka tuloy siya. Take a look at that once again. Because of that fake and the timing of J.R. Kinyahan for that block shot. Tremendous defense by the Road Warriors.
How about the heads-up play of Trollano diving for it and asking for a 30-second timeout? And Lex ayaw talaga mag-aaksaya ng possession dito. They want to slap on an even larger lead just in case kailangan nila ng buffer pagdating sa dulo. Ito yung ginagawa ng dalawa, RG.
And so far, so good. You look at the numbers of C-Stan and Japet, 31.5 combined compared to 18.5 points sa lahat ng malalaking players nitong NLEX. But they're forgetting about that stat line. Ang mentality nitong NLEX, the moment C-Stan or even Japet Aguilar gets inside the paint, they're gonna converge, they're gonna make it hard, they're gonna make those 2 big players from Ginebra bleed for points. At ilan beses na tayo nakakakita ng blanca na susupalpal itong malalaking manlalaro ng Barangay Ginebra.
They really converge, huh?
Oh. It's a good term.
Di ba? Converge eh.
Tama. We're welcoming Converge in the PBA.
Chua lines up a long one. That's going to be good para kay Justin.
He's just a totally different player right now compared to his previous conference when he was playing for Phoenix. He knows exactly what his role is. Part of it is being allowed to shoot from the 3-point area.
Chua with a steal. Trollano and Panyamogan running with him. Philip lines it up. Bang! NLEX opening up a 16-point lead on Barangay Ginebra right here in the second quarter of Game 1.
You look at his penetration by Nieto. He forced the defense to collapse to him and issued a timely assist pass to Chua for a 3 in transition. Being allowed again is very big in terms of the confidence boost of these players in transition. No other option for this guy but to take that shot because he's wide open.
NLEX threatening to break this game wide open, forcing Coach Tim into an early timeout dito sa ating second frame. Matamis na, 16 na. Or ika nga ni Coach RG, 16 ang lamang dito ng NLEX. Alam mo, nalimutan ko na yan.
Ako nga nakalimutan ko na eh. Niremind mo pa. But Coach Tim Cohn alarmed with the performance of his players. That's why he called the timeout right away, down by 16 points. And for him, he's looking for his second consistent scorer. Only 6 points so far for JB because he's being guarded. He's being hounded by the defense of Trujillo.
And pa iba-iba. Kanina si Emerald, ngayon Trujillo. And pag nakalapit ng konti, nagko-converge nga.
Different looks on defense that will make Brownlee guess because players will have different tendencies in playing defense. But the guy na talagang nawawala dito sa scheme of things on offense for Barangay Ginebra is Scotty Thompson. 0 points so far, 16 minutes of basketball action. He has only taken 1 attempt so far. And the reason why he was so effective against TNT was because he was offensive-minded. And he has to get that mentality back once again. JB, 33.5 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 assists.
He had 6 early points today pero ngayon pa lang nadagdagan, RG.
Yes, and you just know it. Pagdating sa semifinals, tinataas niya yung level of performance niya. Pagdating sa Opensa, he was just averaging close to 27 points per ball game in the first 11 games. Pero nag-iba totally yan. Ngayon na nagsastruggle yung kanyang mga teammates, expect him to demand the ball.
Ginebra naman ang nag-a-apply ng pressure in the backcourt dito. Delaying the attack of NLEX. Panyamogan doesn't care though. Bitid lang yung tres na yun. Scotty on the attack. Iniwan muna kay C-Stan. Hirap silang makahanap ng butas kontra sa zona. Here's the zone buster. LA delivers the bomb.
The shot that they have to make just to free up the defense a little bit, and not only that, they have to take advantage while the import of NLEX is on the bench right now. So this is a very important window for Barangay Ginebra to catch up.
Nieto shooting over the bigger Stan Hardinger. LA already with 8 points after that triple. Gets it over to the bulldozer. Christian has it batted back. Thompson from deep. Finally, para kay Scotty.
We've talked about him being offensive-minded. That is what he has developed, particularly in this conference. He's shooting from the outside, and now you can hear the Ginebra fanatic shouting, Ginebra once again.
Yung 16 na kalamangan, natapyas na sa kalahati ng ganun-ganun lang.
8-0 blast, di ba? Tama ba, Matt ko?
Silence the crowd.
Oh, kita mo, pa-approve ka.
16 naging 8 eh.
8-0 blast.
Nakikinig si Dr. J, kaya kinabahan ka, no? Baka sakaling nagkamali. Tenorio's floater makes it a 10-0 run para sa Ginebra. Si Coach Yeng naman ang mapapa-timeout.
Dizzying run here for Barangay Ginebra. We've mentioned it. Just before this timeout by NLEX, itong NLEX, they were up by 16 points. Look at the passing, the crispness of their offensive execution, finding the open man, shooting from the outside, and not only that, the extra pass is always hard to guard. Back-to-back threes from Tenorio and Scotty Thompson. Dagdagan mo pa ng floater from LA. Nakabalik na. 6 na lang ang inahabol ng Barangay Ginebra.
NLEX has brought back in their import in Cameron Clark. Dahil nga naman, naka 10-0 run na ang Barangay Ginebra. Ighalo looking to break their silence. It bounces right over to their import. It is a major dry spell para dito sa NLEX. Pagkakataon ng Ginebra to inch closer. Brownlee down by 6, just over 6 remaining in the half. LA, 1 second with a hit. He's got a dozen.
For Barangay Ginebra, they've been searching for a local scorer and they've found one in LA Tenorio, especially here in the second quarter. He wants everybody to space out. Pag nagsiseal si Stan Hardinger, hinihinto ni LA at sinasabi niya, give that space to me and why not? Look at that missed closed out by NLEX, allowing ito namang si LA Tenorio to shoot unmolestedly from the 15-foot line. And for NLEX, they have to go back and play tougher defense. So many open looks right now for Ginebra.
And now they have also brought back Kevin Alas, your #1 local scorer. Clark puts it on the deck, trying to get by C-Stan. Pull-up jumper from the baseline, no good. Igalo and Brownlee contesting the board. Last touch daw si Ken.
Now the first quarter was totally dominated by Clark, and he scored all of his 12 points in the first 12 minutes. But so far, still nothing for the import reinforcement of Coach Yang.
Tenorio gets it over to Brownlee. Nieto looking to keep in front of Scotty. C-Stan pulls up. Doesn't work. Kinyahan taps it. But Scotty poked it away. Ball will go the way of NLEX.
Sometimes you just have to try it. For Stan Hardinger, he was wide open, and there's a reason why. Because that is the shot that NLEX is allowing him to take. So kung hindi pumapasok yan, he will still see a lot of open looks from the 15-foot line.
Alas goes to the spin. In traffic. Left-handed finish to Kevin. Breaks the silence para sa NLEX.
Finally a basket after a long drought.
And that now is a 10-point performance para kay Kevin. He scored in double digits 12 straight games before that last one versus Alaska kung saan 7 lang siya. So nabasag yung streak. Pero dito sa semis, inumpisahan kagad ni Kevin. First half pa lang, double digits na.
And just so wily and knowing exactly the space. The defense, especially on pick and roll situations, is a go-through. Because what Barangay Ginebra is trying to guard against is a penetration from Kevin Alas. But because of his pirouette action, knowing exactly where he can get that space for his layups, nakakuha pa rin siya ng opening na yon. And what about Mr. Do-It-All, Scotty Thompson? 13.9 points per game, 9.9 rebounds, 6.4 assists, and 1.3 steals. Yung performance na yan, ginalingan pa niya, nahigitan pa niya ng husto pagdating dun sa quarterfinals matchup against TNT. 20 points per game, 12.5 rebounds, and 8.5 assists.
So would you agree, Coach RG, na kung sino lumusot to the finals between NLEX and Ginebra, yung Scotty and Kevin Alas should be the favorite for BPC kontra dun sa either sino lulusot sa kabila, Magnolia or Meralco?
Malalaman natin yan, pero obviously, napakataas nung level of performance nung dalawang magkalaban ng laro na magkakalaban na yan. But speaking of upping their offensive game, a lot of three-pointers right now for Ginebra, and majority of their shots are coming on dribble penetration. So hindi dapat mag-overhelp itong NLEX when somebody is trying to penetrate.
Clark in traffic. Ooh! Acrobatic finish para kay Cameron. He's got 14.
And what you're seeing is a guy who's so comfortable attacking the basket, and wala pa sa skill set niya yung back to the basket attack. But for as long as he is effective and he can score, no doubt, yun pa rin ang hahanaping pensa ni Coach Yang Yao.
Alas against Chan. He attacks to the left side. Kevin felt the contact, threw it up. Will it be free throws? Or will it be on the side? Mga sideline inbound lang. Si Japet Aguilar medyo tahimik pa so far dito sa Game 1. After a nice rest for himself, let's see if he can make as much noise as ginawa ni Stan Hardinger na kanyang pinalitan.
Not the usual shooting percentage for Japet Aguilar.
Ano ba ito nung last game? 12 of 14 yata,
58% yan from the field. But in tonight's ball game, he's only 1 out of 6 for 16% and is only good for 2 points thus far.
Foul on number 32, Justin Brownlee.
Brownlee whistled for the personal. It is NLEX by 6, 45-39.
14 on the shot clock.
Semerad had a hot start in his first run, gives it up to Alas. Kevin trying to decide what to do, for to shoot. Alas on the attack. Nasa po ni Tenorio yung siko niya.
An adjustment on defense. On ball screens, Kevin Alas, it is no longer a go-through. What they're doing is a hard show, trying to pause first the attack of Kevin Alas. And great anticipation by LA Tenorio. He sacrificed his body. An offensive foul was called against Alas.
Still over 3 minutes remaining in what has already been an eventful first half. Brownlee from deep. Nope. Clark para sa rebound. If you're just tuning in, lumobo na po sa hanggang 16 ang abante ng NLEX. But because of a 12-0 run by Barangay Ginebra, nakabalik sila within 4. Right now, it's a 6-point game. Clark lost it. LA scooting down court. Goes all the way to the other side. Jeff hesitates, drives closer. Chan delivers the layup.
Many times we've seen it. Missed coverage because of wrong and over closeout by an NLEX player. And that allowed Jeff Chan, who's a deadly three-point shooter, but you have to stay in control when you're closing out. Otherwise, ganun ang mangyayari.
Mintis si Anthony. Ito na naman ang Barangay Ginebra. The closest they have crawled back to was within 4, just like now. LA though will miss. Chan was there. Matalas. Rosales surveys the floor. Clark trying to take Japet off the dribble. Pull-up jumper. Clark could not deliver. Semerad and Tenorio hustling for that leather.
Looking down on number 33, Tony Semerad.
Tony Semerad ang pinituan ng foul. And he looks shaken up here, RG.
Nailaliman pa siya. Pero mabilis lang yan. And this is what semifinals basketball is all about. Players diving for loose balls just to save a possession. And Semerad is gonna be okay. Mabilis lang yan. But the main task of Semerad really is to play defense against JB. He's okay so far because JB, as of the 19th minute mark, has only scored 11 points.
Sa isnong first, nakakalima pa lang dito at nakapulot pa siya ng offensive foul.
As if on cue. So knowing exactly the tendency on offense and just countering it because of great slides. And the term that I will always use it is anticipation. Usually stronger going to his right. He lowered his left shoulder. Nandun na yung katawan ni Semerad.
Second personal foul yan para kay Brownlee as Kevin is trying to break free from LA. Now he's picked up by Japet. Ighalo didn't know what to do with it. Clark on the move. That's going to be an offensive foul on NLEX. Coach Hank's not going to be happy with that hesitation from Kenneth.
Alam mo, kasama talaga yung bang acting it and exaggerating if there is a contact. Focus your attention on Jeff Chan. There was an intrusion on the part of Ighalo. Talagang he was trying to bulldoze his way. Pwede naman mag-stand still lang si Jeff Chan. Pero nung nakita niya malakas ang momentum, nagpatumba na siya. Offensive foul tuloy ang naitawag kay Ken.
Thompson looking to eat into this 4-point deficit. Goes to LA. Didn't pull the trigger from deep. Why not? Para dito kay Japet.
But the first one was the unselfishness of LA Tenorio. He got his defender up there and he was able to penetrate. And when he saw that the defender of Japet Aguilar helped out, wala nang helper scheme doon ang NLEX.
Shot clock is reset to 14 seconds.
45-43 yung lamang ng NLEX, bumaba na sa 2. After this LA to Japet connection, 4 na puntos pa lang para kay Japet pero napakaingay nung huling dakdak niya.
And what about this run by Barangay Ginebra? At one point, they were down by 16, 39 to 23. And from that time up to this time, they've outscored NLEX 20 to 6. Kaya dalawa na lang itong hinahabol ng mga nakaputi.
Cameron Clark, you mentioned it, ang ganda nung simula niya. Pero nung naupo, lumobo pa lalo yung lamang nila. Pagbalik niya, medyo nahihirapan kuhanin yung rhythm again. Maybe these two shots will help. Nagmintis lang sa una.
And that is why for players who will be given a rest, they have to be active on the bench mentally and physically dahil napakainit ng kanyang first quarter. We've talked about that 12 points on a very high percentage shooting from the field. Kanyang perimeter jumper sumatama. And now pati yung free throw niya, hindi niya na makalibrate. 0 out of 2 on that trip for Clark.
He's only added 2 points to that first quarter total. As LA has an opening. Couldn't send it home. Alas with a hand on it. Japet saves it. To the wrong man though. Here comes Chris Rosales. Last shot time para naman sa NLEX. Kevin gets instruction from Coach Yang. They want Cameron to get going. 7 natitira sa ating first half. Clark on the attack. Door shut on him. Pull-up jumper. No para dito kay Cameron. And that'll do it for the first 24. Yung lamang ng NLEX na 16, muntik nang maubos dito. Pero nakasurvive naman silang makaabante ng dalawa. Heading into the dugout. 45-43 ating score. Sino ang ating player of that, Coach RG, na atid sa atin ng Firefly, the trusted lighting partner of the PBA?
Obviously, it was L.A. Tenorio when nothing was going right offensively. L.A. Tenorio was there to answer the call. Total of 12 points for him on a 2 out of 5 shooting from the three-point area. Dagdag mo pa ang 4 na rebounds and 4 assists. And the timing. Akala natin tuloy-tuloy nang aalagwa itong NLEX, but thanks to L.A. Tenorio, yung last 5 minutes ng Ginebra was all Barangay Ginebra show.
45-43 is your score at the half. This is game 1 of a best-of-5 semifinal series live on TV5.
Mic test, Tan. Okay na, Tan? Okay itong mic na to, ha? Hindi, ito na lang gamitin natin para safe na lang. Si Com na lang naman interview. Basa mo na.
Thompson drains it from three-point country.
Much improved offensive artillery.
Doing what he does best, attacking, slashing.
Oh, ho, ho! Buhat na buhat para dito kay Thompson.
Change of direction by Scottie Thompson.
Oh, yes, sir! Short pass, it'll pound. Kasama ng pound.
Oh, look at that block.
Blocked by Scotty.
Scottie Thompson chased him down.
Goes to Scotty.
Oh, look at that.
But what a time for them to come together. The exclamation point.
Welcome back to the Mall of Asia Arena for your PBA semifinals. Kasama ko at the half, former Commissioner Chito Salud, who will talk to us more about the Converge franchise. Attorney, aside from joining the upcoming 47th season of the PBA, what plans do you have that you can share to the PBA fans that Converge has so far?
Converge plans to be an active member of the PBA. No? Our CEO, Dennis Anthony Uy, recognizes the value of the PBA as one of the best marketing and advertising vehicle in the country now. It has a long, storied history and remains a pillar and institution in Philippine sports.
Now, when it comes to retaining the members of the Alaska franchise, the coaches, the players, and the staff, what are the plans that you have for them?
We'll be having a team meeting tomorrow, and we'll be discussing the future of the players and the coaches. No, you know, we haven't had the time yet to assess and evaluate the performance of our players, but we'll see tomorrow. That's the first time, and when Mr. Dennis Uy comes back from the States, he'll be meeting the players also during a lunch session.
Attorney Chito, you have big shoes to fill for the Alaska Aces. How are you going to continue the winning tradition and the legacy of Alaska?
Well, first of all, with full management support and continuous recalibration of team chemistry, our team will be competing at a high level and bring top-notch sports entertainment to our Filipino fans. You know, when Converge decided to join the PBA, this was in line with the personal mission of Dennis Uy in providing free and reliable internet to the Filipinos. For him, it's a matter of right and not just a privilege.
Attorney, kung meron tayong Gin Kings for Barangay Ginebra, meron tayong Road Warriors for NLEX, ano kaya ang magiging PBA alias ng Converge?
April 5, we'll have a team launch. That's a press con. That's the time when they will reveal the team name and the moniker. That's the job of the hardworking men and women of our marketing team.
Okay, talagang aabangan namin yan. Finally, your message to the PBA fans para suportahan at abangan nila ang Converge team.
Opo, abangan nyo ang Converge. No? We're very happy, proud, and excited to be here. Special thanks to the team owners of the PBA, particularly Mr. Manny Pangilinan, no? Who showed tremendous sporting spirit in allowing the entry of Converge. Mr. Dennis Uy remains very grateful to all the team owners.
Maraming salamat, Attorney Chito Salud. That has been the latest for the Converge franchise. Ngayon naman, panoorin natin ang ating new top 5 plays for this week.
After leading by as many as 16, dalawa na lang ang naibaong kalamangan ng NLEX into the break. 45-43 ang ating score. Dito nga po sa Game 1 ng Best of 5 semifinal ng laban ng NLEX at Barangay Ginebra. We're gonna see some threes get buried in the first frame. Yung Alas, yung Semerad, tapos itong import, ang ganda rin ng simula.
Oh, they were on target from the outside, and not only that, they were also playing tough defense. But yung pasok ni Stan Hardinger, nagkaroon ng semblance ng offensive game itong Barangay Ginebra. Pero ang ganda ng rhythm, even their import. 12 out of his 14 points were scored in the first quarter.
And first quarter nga po natapos lamang ang animang NLEX 29-23 as we take a look at some second quarter highlights. Ang bida dyan si Teniente L.A. Tenorio down by 16. They went on a 12-0 run.
And he was unstoppable. He was making point-blank jumpers on floaters. Manakanak ang pagsagot ni Kevin Alas after that 8 or 10-0 run ignited by Barangay Ginebra, but still simply too much of L.A. Tenorio. He was doing everything on offense. Not only was he scoring, but he was also facilitating and dishing off highlight plays for his teammates. Look at our field goal shooting. Barangay Ginebra now at 45%, a lot better than the first quarter percentage. And itong NLEX naman, 42%. In the first quarter, they were actually 56%. So dumipensa na itong Barangay Ginebra. Rebounding, plus 10 rebounds itong Barangay Ginebra. Steals 5-0. Lamang dyan ang NLEX. Turnovers, doon nagka-problema yung Barangay Ginebra with a total of 10 turnovers.
Etong si Alas is in double digits, backing up Clark's 14. LA naman is leading the way at the other side with a dozen. Si Brownlee nakasais ng first quarter, dinagdagan ng 5. Netong second, yung Stan Hardinger, yung 8 na yun, yung napakabigat nung simula.
Tama yan, pero kulang pa rin ng offensive firepower dun sa mga usual scorers ng Barangay Ginebra. And we're talking about Scottie Thompson. We've mentioned that he averaged 20 points per ball game in their series against TNT, but only 3 so far.
Take a look at how the minutes are spread and where this lineup was built for both sides. Kita mo yung bigat ng Ginebra, yung mga first rounder nila, Coach RG.
Ibang klase, no? 3 ang kanilang first round picks sa kanilang koponan ngayon. Tapos itong NLEX naman, tignan din natin. Ang pinakamataas nila is a second round overall pick na si Kevin Alas. So kung saan-saan kinuha ni Coach Yang Gao yan, pero yun talaga yung asset ni Coach Yang eh. Diamond in the rough. Hahanapin niya yun, tapos papagalingin niya yung mga manlalarong napick ng medyo mababa sa ating draft.
Speaking of mababa, yung kaninang leading scorers natin, ang isang absent, yung Don Troliano para naman sa NLEX.
Don Troliano, kasi ang kanyang focus is to play defense. Pero tama ka, he's averaging over 10 points per ball game. We've mentioned that at the top of our coverage, that he's a two-way player. So ang kailangan is madepensahan niya si Brownlee, which is okay, he's doing a good job. But more than that, he has to contribute offensively for his team.
So here we go with the third quarter. This is game 1 of a best of 5 NLEX Ginebra live on TV5. It is going to be Tenorio with Thompson, Aguilar, Chan, and Brownlee. That's the same starting unit. Katapat itong sina Semerad, Rosales, Clark, Varilla, and Alas. Both coaches are going with the same starting units.
Tama. Pero iba naman ang naging panimula nila dahil si JB, hindi masyadong mainit yung opening minutes ng first quarter. Pero dito sa third quarter, bumitaw agad ng 3.
And just like that, lamang na ang Barangay Ginebra, 46-45. How will NLEX respond? LA's on the deck. Binalakang daw ni Semerad.
An offensive foul will be called against Anthony Semerad. There was a bad fall. Hindi nakita yon ni L.A. Tenorio, but he is just shaking it off. This guy is our resident Iron Man with the longest streak here in terms of consecutive games sa history ng PBA na to, di ba?
Yes, sirs. Nasa 17,000 na yata eh. Hindi kasi hindi lang PBA games, meron pang gilas in between. Di ba? Grabe yung milyahe sa odometer.
Tama ka dyan.
First lead ng Ginebra to, Coach RG, and they've crawled their way back into the lead now with absolutely no fast break points.
Tama, and for the benefit of our late tuners, it was 39-23 in the middle minutes of the second quarter. Lamang doon yung NLEX Road Warriors. But yung 6-minute mark ng second, it was all Barangay Ginebra. They outscored itong NLEX 20-6 in those precious minutes.
Brownlee, nahuli. At inabot na sila ng shot clock.
Obviously, that is the best step towards the right direction for NLEX. Solidify their interior defense again. But they have to translate it into points. Nung first quarter, madali dahil tumatama si Clark from the perimeter. Towards the second quarter, nung panghuli, minuto ng second quarter, nawala na yung kanilang opensa. Hindi na rin nila makuhaan ng mileage yung kanilang import.
Tignan natin kung makabawi dito. Ayun na nga. Cameron Clark shoves NLEX back ahead as Japet crashes to the floor.
And what you're seeing is a player who loves to play system basketball, itong si Clark. He was able to elude his defender because of running through screens. But why is it so costly for Barangay Ginebra? You take a look at that challenge of Japet Aguilar, but as soon as it took off,
Natapakan ba niya yung
ang
paa?
feeling mo ron is parang may pumitik
Yun.
dun sa calves niya. So that is a problem right now. And he's massaging it. It's not a case of cramps.
Oo nga, oo nga. And unang-una, isa sa mga unang lumapit, si Kevin Alas pa, no? He knows a thing or two about being injured. And you know, this guy just wants positive things for everybody. Kahit kalaban, ayaw mong may
Of course.
nasasaktan.
That's gonna be huge for Barangay Ginebra. You don't want Japet Aguilar to miss the series because of an injury. And it's not looking well because he's limping all the way to his bench.
And sabi mo nga, parang mag-isa lang siya, no? Parang wala naman tinaman. And mas nakakatakot pa yung mga ganun.
It usually happens on a takeoff. Pag pagtalon mo with so much, kumbaga, power in trying to block the shot, pag may pumitik na muscle mo sa leg part mo, delikado yan.
And that pressure of NLEX produces a turnover. Kevin on the attack, kicks it out. Clark from the elbow. No. Stan Hardinger with a rebound. Brownlee backing up on Semerad. They swing it around. They whip it to the corner with Chan. Stan Hardinger looking to pound. Dalawa sumalubong. Hinagis na lang. And here comes Alas on the move. Kevin. Niyoyo pa. Naabot pa rin ang depensa. But look who gets it. Semerad diving for it. And they recycle this attack. Rosales looking for some daylight. Niluwa. Tumilapon si Clark to sa rebound.
The momentum, even if it is just a slight nudge. But the offensive player who has the inside position loses his balance because of a slight nudge. That should be a defensive foul. You take a look at it once again. Nawala sa forma. So maski mahinhin na foul lang yun, tatawagan talaga ng referee yun. So ball will go back to NLEX after this timeout.
30-second timeout requested here. Yun yung lalo na pag pa-take off dahil nandun yung pwersa tapos bibigyan mong konting tulak sa likod. Mawawala talaga sa eksena, no?
Tama yan. Because good offensive position na doon to get the offensive rebound si Clark at biglang nawala sa eksena.
One championship celebrates 10 years with style. 1X. Sa March 27 po yan, 8:30 p.m. sa One Sports. Huwag natin kalimutan yung 1X.
But anxious moments really on the bench of Barangay Ginebra. They're still working on the leg of Japet Aguilar. And can you imagine a team na wala si Japet Aguilar because of the minutes that he's used to playing for Barangay Ginebra. Kaya all eyes right now nandun sa dulo ng bench ng Barangay Ginebra.
Maya-maya, iimbestigahan na yan ni Miss Denise Tan. Actually, iniimbestigahan na. Maya-maya, babalitaan tayo ni Denise Jaan. 47-46, just 2 minutes and change into the third frame. NLEX by 1. They go to Clark. Rosales has 3 to try and generate a shot. Kevin's gotta go. Kapos yung 3-pointer niya. Dire-diretso sa kamay ni Christian. Thompson spinning into the lane, kicks it out. Tenorio, iniscoop pa.
And this is what happens because there's only one big guy who occupies so much space for Barangay Ginebra, and that is Stan Hardinger. So the penetrating angles are so open for the guards to take advantage of.
Clark di makabawi. Barangay Ginebra back ahead 48-47. Looking to increase.
Ang comparison mo dyan, partner, kung nandyan si Japet tsaka si Stan Hardinger sa loob, masyadong masikip, kaya hindi nakaka-penetrate yung gwardiya ng Ginebra. So we take a look at this once again. Missed coverage on the closeout for the nth time by NLEX, and that allowed LA Tenorio to breeze by his defenders and score on a scoop.
Brownlee drops it off to Christian. Naku, sumobra. Alas on the breakout. Tatlo kalaban. Kevin on the move. Is fouled. Yun ang tapang. 1-on-3. No problem para kay Alas.
Si Alas, gustong-gusto pa niya yan. Yung in traffic, he will score against phalanx of defenders, and still, either he gets a basket or he troops to the free throw line dahil kaya niya talagang magpasabit.
Kevin Alas taking care of the first as we get this report from Denise Tan.
The biggest concern for Coach Yang Giao is Eli Tenorio and Christian Sandhardinger joining that scoring party in the second quarter. Yung direction niya naman daw talaga, admittedly nung una, is to limit Brownlee. But what he reminded NLEX is that Justin will score either way. All they can really do is make it a little bit difficult for him, not get all the players on him, tapos iiwanan na yung iba. Last thing they would want is to have both locals and import get their momentum and streak going. If they don't stop this quickly, he said they're gonna find themselves in a very, very difficult situation. Back to you guys.
50-49, Ginebra's lead is 1. Nice seesaw battle early in this third frame, Coach RG.
Magdadalawang report yan si Denise kasi kailangan niya i-report kung ano ba ngayon ang status ni Japet Aguilar. But for Barangay Ginebra, nabalik na ulit yung lamang sa kanila o lamang nila 50-49.
Kevin on the move to the baseline. Kicks it out, sumobra nga lang. Masakit yan para sa NLEX. Si Varilla nakatao dito kay Scotty Thompson. Coach RG already mentioned it. He hasn't done as much damage, only 4 points. And Lex will push it the other way. Rosales with a pull-up. Oh, good.
And Rosales is another guy who's struggling big time from the field. A lot of minutes played, 16 minutes to be exact, but still nothing on the scoreboard.
Pero nakakuha naman ng steal doon on cue si Chris. Clark. Ang lalim ng inabot niya dahil dalawa sumabay.
Recognition, 4 white shirts, and he was trying to beg for the referees to call a foul against Justin Brownlee, but for JB, knowing exactly how to play basketball. He did not hear the whistle, so that means it's play on, and he dribbled the length of the court to score on his layup.
Varilla from the corner. No, Clark is there to clean it up. That keeps NLEX within 1.
18 total points for Clark, but he has to score more. Only his 4th basket in the third quarter after exploding for 12 in the first 12 minutes.
Brownlee one-on-one with Varilla. JB gets by him. Doesn't work. Rosales on the breakout. Here comes NLEX on the run. Rosales behind the back. His drop hindi masapo ni Semerad.
Now for Barangay Ginebra, you have to give credit to the guys playing here. They've been playing long minutes, but they know exactly the importance of sprinting back on defense and defending the transition. So instead of allowing NLEX to score in an easy layup, they were down there defending their turf, and they were able to force a stop.
Under 6.5 remaining in the third now. Chan. Looking to attack. The stretch to Jeff is good. Naikauban pang foul.
So for Jeff Chan, he's just announcing to everyone that he is not purely an outside shooter. If the penetrating lane is wide open, he still has that quickness and the focus to score while hearing the whistle of our referee and going for an end one opportunity. So yung bang mga players ng Barangay Ginebra na matagal nating hindi nakita maglaro dahil na-injure, ngayon nagpapakita sa sariwa. So it's obvious that Ginebra is peaking at the right time.
54-50. Ginebra's lead is now 3 as we approach the halfway mark of our third frame. Nieto ipinasok. Kasabay niya dito si Rosales. Clark with a pick. They swing it. Trollano will attack. Goes to the other side. It is Clark. Couldn't set it home, but Semerad keeps it on that side. Rosales from deep. Could not tie the game. But look at NLEX hustle for it. Naubusan lang ng real estate.
But if you're Ginebra, you come up with a zone defense and you see NLEX struggling to shoot from the outside, expect Ginebra to stay in a zone after this timeout.
The excitement starts here. UAAP Season 84 Men's Live, Champions for Life.
Fully alive champions for life. Abangan ang pagbabalik ng UAAP at panoorin ng Season 84 Men's Basketball simula March 26 tuwing Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Live po lahat yan sa One Sports at sa UAAP Varsity Channel, available on Signal TV Channel 263 in HD and on Signal Play. Sabado na yan, Coach RG, ha?
At marami rin talagang umaantabay dyan sa panimula ng best college basketball in our country. Yan UAAP. And 4 total games will be played. The first game is at 10 a.m. between FEU Tamaraws and UST Growling Tigers. The second game, Adamson University versus NU. Yung third game natin at 4 p.m. One big fight versus UP fight agad. Ang gandang laban naman nun. At meron pang kasunod yun.
Every game day, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 4 na laro ang nakahain buong first round.
Dami talagang nakamiss dyan sa UAAP na yan eh.
Kaya wala kang off day kung ikaw either from one of the 8 schools or talagang mahilig lang sa basketball, lalo na sa UAAP basketball. All 8 teams will be in action every game day.
Napakaraming basketball ang matutunghayan natin dun sa UAAP playdates.
Speaking of more basketball, etong NLEX goes to Nieto to cut this deficit to 3. Tenorio may tangan para dito sa Barangay. LA looking for the crack in the D. They go to... Nilinis pa yun para kay Arvin.
And that is going to be huge for his confidence. He did not play a lot of minutes in their series against TNT. But now, because of the injury sustained by Japet Aguilar, next man-up mentality. And that is Tolentino for Coach Tim Cone.
Seconds on the shot clock.
And Tolentino once again hitting his first basket in the third quarter, and he has to be offensive-minded also dahil nga inaasahan din siyang umipensa ng Barangay Ginebra.
Oh, look at that put back by Clark.
And this is the perennial issue if you're sticking in a zone defense, you actually lose your ability to guard a particular player in a rebounding situation. So back-to-back baskets on second chance points by NLEX in their last 2 possessions.
Parehong koponan, nakakalimang 3-pointer na. Gawin mong 6 para sa Ginebra. Ang po-point out ko sana yung Ginebra dahil pumasok yun. 6 of 13. Yung NLEX 5 of 22. Kanina parehong 5, pero mas efficient yung sa mga nakaputi.
Tama yan. And that is the shot that Barangay Ginebra is actually allowing NLEX to take. That's why nakazona sila eh. Dahil ang feeling nila is for as long as hindi makashoot itong NLEX, and we're talking about the defense of Barangay Ginebra, they're gonna be very effective. I want to see this.
Landing spot rule ang iimbestigahan dito, RG.
Yes, the first one first is all of a sudden, the defender of the JB was lost in the mix. And that tiny opening allowed him to take that shot and he nailed it. Now, there's an official suspension of play because the referees are going to review this particular action. Landing spot rule ang hinahanap nila dyan.
Dun sa ankles nakahawak eh. Naku, itong malaking dagok. Flagrant foul penalty 1 to because of that landing spot foul. Ayun o, umilalim yung paa ni Christian kay Semerad. And with Japet already hurt on that bench, Christian's got to sit for the next 3 minutes of basketball.
Yes, and the reason why I wanted to see the slow-mo is I wanted to see if the offensive player was actually lunging towards Christian Standhardinger. And when I saw that Semerad, the guy who took the shot, did not break the offensive cylinder that he has, and bumagsak doon si sa paa ni Standhardinger, that's an automatic flagrant foul called against the defensive player.
Check out how small this Ginebra lineup's gonna be. Si Pinto ang pinalit kay Standhardinger.
So they're opting to play small.
Tolentino and Brownlee lang yung bigs mo.
Why?
They're
Because
not that big.
they want to match up also dun sa small complement ni Coach Yen Giao. Hindi niya kailangan maglagay ng malaking manlalaro dahil the 5 bago pumasok si JR.
Yun nga lang.
Ito na yung adjustment ni Coach Yen ngayon. So since maliit itong Ginebra, they're not gonna lose anything on a defensive matchup if they're gonna stay in a zone. But kung mag-man-to-man to, obviously, meron advantage itong NLEX. But nasa 1-2-2 defense pa rin itong Barangay Ginebra.
Nieto, quick release. Sobra. Clark board. Merong foul dun pa lang daw sa rebound.
Many times,
Tolentino.
yes, we've seen this in this quarter. Shot is taken from NLEX. Hindi makapag-block out because usually if it's a zone, you block out a particular spot and not a particular man. So yun ngayon ang nagiging puhunan nitong NLEX, yung second chance points nila in the third quarter.
Nieto gives it up to Trollano. Doesn't work for Don. Sabi mo nga, Coach RG, until they get burned, they'll keep giving up those outside shots. Nieto though from 15 feet delivers.
Another second chance points for NLEX. So for Barangay Ginebra, the mentality is they are forcing a miss on the first shot, but they cannot complete it because they cannot get the defensive rebound.
Tolentino misses. Brownlee climbs above everybody. Tolentino burns them with a 3.
And he's gonna enjoy that shot because he was given another shot at redemption. He missed an open 3-pointer earlier, but now he's not gonna let the second one slip away.
Look at this fearless drive. Nagmintis lang para kay Nieto. Tolentino again. Arvin Tolentino catching fire in this third quarter.
And what is obvious is this guy loves the limelight. He's been here and he has done that. And now, because of the injury sustained by Japet Aguilar, he's expected to score and is not disappointing his coaches.
Clark, though, comes up with a response, cutting this deficit to 7. Thompson backstopping na para sa Ginebra. Iskati, bebeluan si Ginyahan. Goes all the way across. Brownlee's got 5 to try and generate a shot. LA nakanakaw! Nakalimutan si Teniente doon sa ilalim, ano?
Obvious miscommunication on defense. Nobody was talking. Two guys defended Brownlee, but no guy defended LA Tenorio, and they will pay big time for that.
Welcome back to the Mall of Asia Arena for your PBA. According to Ginebra's medical staff, there are 2 existing bruises dun sa kaliwang binte ni Japet Aguilar that he got in the last game pa dahil tinamaan din siya doon. So this time, they were actually checking. Maybe the reason why it was hurting is dahil dun sa dalawang pasa. Worst case scenario, that left calf is strained. But what I was assured, however, is that there is no tear. That leg was iced longer than usual and they're just about to start the testing process. Nung tinanong ko si Japet about the pain, sabi niya mga 4 out of 10 lang at kung makakabalik ba siya, basta daw may go signal, kakayanin. Back to you guys.
That's good news. But usually you will feel it when the adrenaline level is down. So pagkatapos itong larong to, Japet will have to be assessed once again. At kung mag-require pa ng MRI, mas maganda. Just to rule out yung tear na kinakatakutan ng maraming mga taga-subaybay ng Barangay Ginebra.
Lalong-lalo na, dire-diretso na tayo. In less than 48 hours, these two teams will go at it once again. On Friday, it is NLEX Ginebra as the 3 o'clock game dahil yung Meralco Magnolia ang lilipat sa 6.
And speaking of Meralco versus Magnolia, an incredible last 3 quarters for Magnolia, and that is why they won the game because they were down by 10 points at the end of 12 minutes, 22-12 if I'm
yung
not
lamang
mistaken.
hindi yun yung nakakagulat eh. Yung 12 puntos lang ang in-score na Magnolia in the first quarter, yun ang kagimbal-gimbal.
Tama yan.
Tapos biglang makakagapang ka ng balik, grabe lang.
Oo. Palalon ang nag-best player of the ball game doon.
Eh grabe naman, parang energizer bunny si Gio. Kulang na lang, mag-map pa kanina. kahit sa sulok ng court sumilip, nandoon yung Gio.
Oo nga eh.
Grabe lang. Game 2 of that series will be 6 o'clock this coming Friday dito rin po sa MOA Arena. Pinto, on the move, gets it to JB. Sobra lang interest niya doon.
Back-to-back air balls for Barangay Ginebra. The first one was Tolentino. It hit nothing but air. The second one, Justin Brownlee. But it's still so good for Barangay Ginebra. Still up by 8 points.
Trollano. 2 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist pa lang. Kakailanganin na ng NLEX ang ambag dito ni Don Clarkson. Kinyahan from the elbow. Another guy who has been quiet, only 4 points para kay JR. Mintis pa doon. Scotty on the move. 6, 8, and 2 stat line so far ni Stati.
Daming pangalan, ano? Stati.
Scott 3.
Scott 3.
Yan eh. Mr. Thompson.
Yan, medyo formal yun. Well-deserved rest here for Brownlee para dun sa 4th quarter push ni Coach Tim Cone.
Thompson looking to attack. Senyasan sila ni Stan Hardinger dito. Scotty. Swings it. Tolentino. He's been the man of the moment in this 3rd frame, but that ball is batted right back to him. And that'll see their shot clock expire, leaving 7.5 on the clock here in the 3rd para sa NLEX.
Still believe that this is going to be a very important possession for NLEX. You don't want to be down by 8 points at the end of 36 minutes. So for as long as they can chip away, entering the fourth quarter, magkakaroon sila ng kumpiyansa.
That's a foul to give para dito sa Ginebra. That was the last one. That leaves exactly 4 seconds remaining in the third.
Hindi na pwede. Honest defense na. Dito ang Barangay.
Varilla will rifle it in. Who does he go to? Nandiyan si Clark, nandiyan si Clarkson, nandiyan si Quinahan, pati si Nieto. They go to Clark. Cameron puts it on the deck, then pulls up. Straightaway jumper is good para kay Clark. And that'll pull NLEX back within 6 heading into the fourth.
Good offensive execution for NLEX. And we take a look at that left to right crossover, similar to the shot of RK Ilagan. Buzzer beater din. Mas matangkad nga lang.
12 minuto pa natitira dito sa Game 1. Walang PBTU. All the way to the finish line tayo dito sa TV5. Patuloy ang ating pagtutok sa Game 1 netong best of 5 semi-final series between NLEX and Ginebra. Paul Varilla opens up the scoring para sa NLEX to cut their deficit to 4, Coach RG.
4 straight points for NLEX. And the third quarter was not really the best quarter for NLEX. They were outscored by Barangay Ginebra 27-17.
Arvin Tolentino picking up where he left off from the third.
3 3-pointers and a basket inside the white line. A total of 11 points for this guy. And how important is Tolentino right now in the offensive scheme of things of Barangay Ginebra? Very important because wala na si Japet Aguilar after sustaining that left calf injury. So importante talaga yung mileage na makukuha nila dito kay Tolentino.
7 abante ng Ginebra. They feature Tolentino, Stan Hardinger, Thompson, Pinto, and Caperal. Scotty's 15-footer doesn't work. It is picked up by Nieto pero 4 ang kalaban. Inantay muna niya itong sina Chua, Quinahan, Trollano, and Varilla. Trollano zigzagging his way to the cup. Ayun na si Don.
Oh, his ability to weave inside using his handles. Only the 4th basket for Trollano, but still enough to trim the lead down of Ginebra to just 5.
Thompson goes to the spin, natalisod.
Broken down number 0, Justin Chua. Substitution, Justin
Brownlee quickly redeployed here by Coach Tim.
And a round of applause. Fantastic game for Tolentino.
11 puntos, ganun-ganun lang, no? Ilan ba playing time nun? 7 minutes, 45 seconds.
Ang ganda, no? Yung efficiency
Diba?
niya. Importante dahil siya talaga yung nag-ignite yung nung run nitong Ginebra in the third quarter.
Kaya tuwan-tuwa siguro bayaw niyan, si Doug Kramer. Tinuro niya yung mga bicep shot na yon as Quinahan has this one rim out. And a foul is spotted on the rebound. That was a sorry miss para kay JR. He needs one of those to start to drop, Coach RG.
Tama, kailangan eh. Dahil nga, down ba sila ng 5 points? Tapos, yung bang plus minus si JR Kinyahan, kailangan umangat din eh.
Brownlee against Trollano. Dawn back to his assignment here. Brownlee spins into trouble, kicks it out. Caperal couldn't catch it cleanly. Prince on the attack. Travel. Tawag doon.
Alam mo si Caperal, parang in-game yung kanyang pagiging mas kondisyon. Diba? He has to lose more pounds right now. We've seen him play incredible basketball. That is why he was contracted for a little longer by Barangay Ginebra. But right now, problems on offense for Ginebra and turning it into precious baskets. Ito si Jerry Kenyahan making a perimeter jumper and don't look now. Only a one possession deficit for NLEX.
Taking a look at Commissioner's Row once again, part of this mammoth crowd in attendance dito sa loob ng Mall of Asia Arena for Game 1 ng Best of 5 semi-final series between Barangay Ginebra and NLEX. Susunod na laban nito ngayong darating na Biyernes alas 3 ng hapon dito rin sa MOA. Mapapanood pa rin live dito sa TV5. NLEX clawing their way back to within 3 kaya napa-timeout si Coach Tim. Pinto may tangan ngayon para dito sa mga nakaputi. He goes inside to Stan Hardinger. Back to Pinto. Shot clock winding down. Pinto could not bail him out. Rebound. Oh, grabe naman yung kinlawit doon ni Don. Got it over Christian.
Still nothing on offense for Barangay Ginebra. And the struggle is for real.
Kinyahan, same spot. Same result para kay JR.
He's beginning to like that elbow perimeter jumper. 4 straight baskets for JR Kinyahan. And after being down by as big as 10 points, isa na lang itong kanilang kailangan bunuin.
Thompson trying to get deep. Used to Tenorio. Step to the left jumper. Mintis para kay LA. The bulldozer huli. Stan Hardinger though keeps it on that side. Brownlee Buebuelo. They go to the left. Scotty. No, but he's fouled.
And I never liked a defensive player fouling a jump shooter. And that's gonna be big. Because ang ganda na ng depensa nitong NLEX without fouling. And now, itong si Scotty Thompson, who's been struggling from the offensive situation for him. Diba? 6 points lamang. So, he is a man who's being defended well by the team of NLEX.
But look at this. This is the most incredible line. He's played more than 38 minutes of a possible near 40. Halos 40 pa lang 48 minutes ng basketball. May mahigit 8 pang natitira Grabe lang.
Grabe na. Ito naman sobrang kondisyon. Merong si Scotty Thompson. Minsan mauubusan ka na ng yung mga pwedeng positive things to
lahat ng
describe
superlatives.
This guy. You simply at some point kukulangin ka
2 for 2 for Thompson, stretching that lead once again to 4. So he's once again flirting with a double-double. 9 and 9 na. Medyo malayo nga lang sa ngayon. Yung assist, 3 pa lang. Clark inside. Finding the crack in the D is Cameron. That keeps NLEX within 2.
A different attack for Cameron Clark because we're just used to seeing him shoot perimeter jumpers, and now in that previous play he was closer to the basket, taking advantage dun sa kanyang height against Stan Hardinger on the other side. Let's take a look at this play again. Good seal and nice entry pass, Varilla to Clark for an easy basket. Dalawa na lang sana yung hinahabol doon ng NLEX, pero ito naman si JB seeing a tiny opening and taking advantage of that one. He was not able to make a shot or make his layup, but at least he will go to the free throw line. A very accurate free throw shooter, and you don't want him there, especially in crunch time situations.
Halftime, 11 pa lang ang nai-score ni Brownlee. Ngayon, dinoble na niya. He's got 22 in total so far, Coach RG.
So maganda yung import matchup natin dito. You've mentioned the 22 points of Justin Brownlee. Ito naman si Clark, hindi nagpapaiwan with 24 points and 12 rebounds. So stat line wise, mas maganda pa yung kanyang numero dito kay JB.
JB takes care of both. 78-74 is our score. Wala na pong 8 minuto natitira dito sa Game 1. Again, Game 2 is on Friday, 3 o'clock. Game 3 of this series is going to be on Sunday at 6:30. Dito pa rin sa MOA, and then if necessary, Wednesday and Friday next week, nasa Araneta na tayo, Coach RG.
Maganda rin naman nabibigyan natin ng pagkakataon yung mga taga-Pasay na manood ng live basketball. Samantala, ito na yung ginagawang atake ni Clark. Hindi na siya masyadong nagre-rely dun sa kanyang perimeter shooting. Inaalat din ng bandang huli. He's just dribbling closer to the basket and wanting to get Stan Hardinger get into foul trouble.
Clark from 15 feet. Dude is heating up here in the 4th.
And this is the kind of zone offense that they're trying to do. A lot of ball movements, a lot of flashes in the middle for a point-blank jumper. We saw that earlier. Kinyahan scoring from almost the same spot, and now it's the turn of Clark.
Stan Hardinger deep. Sumobra. Yung reverse doon. Here comes NLEX looking to tie the game, maybe even to retake the lead with a 3. They go right back to Clark, who takes it to the cup. Tabla tayo sa 78.
So Clark offensive-minded again in the 4th quarter. And after being down, and I've mentioned this earlier, 10 points was the biggest lead of Barangay Ginebra. Na-erase na yon ng NLEX. So this game is being played on spurts. In the 1st quarter, lumamang ng 16 itong NLEX. Na-erase na ng Barangay Ginebra. Parang 26-point turnaround yun eh. Down by 16, up by 10. Pero ngayon, 6 and 35, 78 points apiece.
Take a look at what this guy has done. Partida, may plaster pa sa noo yan because of that injury he suffered versus Alaska. Turnover pa ang Barangay Ginebra.
So the defense of NLEX forcing another turnover. And this is by far the best offensive game for Clark. In the 2 games against Alaska, he was only good for 24.5 points per ball game. But so far, dami niya nang nai-score. 30 na to be exact.
Alas almost lost his footing there. Couldn't come up with a shot. Brownlee against Semerad, now picked up by Clark. Semerad all over him. Ball will remain with Ginebra. Hindi bumitaw yung Tony Semerad. Tenorio trying to get everybody in position here. Thompson penetrates down the gut of the defense. He'll be back at the line for 2 shots.
And this is what you appreciate dito kay Scottie Thompson. In his early years in the PBA, he was just a facilitator. He wants to get his teammates involved. And now, because of the absence of 2 big-time scorers. The first one, Stanley Briggle, because of an injury. Ngayon naman, itong si Japet Aguilar. So alam ni Scottie Thompson, kailangan niya nang umupensa dahil kulang na ang production nila.
Pero sinisilip ko si Japet do sa bench, Coach RG. Wala na yung yelo sa binte. at nagsisikip ng sintas ng sapatos, mukhang may balak.
Ready pa yan dahil 0-0 pa. Nakita naman natin doon sa ating matchup ng ating dalawang magkatunggali na mga kupunan dito sa ating liga. Kanina, yung semifinals matchup natin, Magnolia getting the better of Meralco in Game 1. At ito naman, sinusubukan nitong magkabilang kupunan na maging 1-0 rin after the end of this ball game.
With less than 6 minutes remaining here in Game 1, we want to invite everybody again. This coming Saturday, magbubukas na ang UAP Season 84. Mapapanood sa One Sports at sa Varsity Channel sa Signal.
So yung third game natin, Ateneo versus UP. Yung fourth game naman natin, De La Salle University. Yung team ni Dean Quinito Henson. Kakalabanin naman ang UE.
Scotty Thompson buries a 3. He's got 13 points. More importantly, inangat na naman niya sa 4 ang abante ng kanyang barangay.
And what a way for Scotty Thompson to wax hot in this ball game. Scoreless in the first quarter. At ito, tumitin din na rin ng depensa ng barangay Ginebra.
Sakto 5 minuto na lang natitira dito sa Game 1. LA on the run, gets the bounce!
And I had a feeling he had to change his decision while he was mid-air. Because kung kay Japet Aguilar, alley-oop. Pero nakita niya, Stan Hardinger, tila na lang niya at pumasok.
Rosales from the corner. NLEX could not find the response, but Trollano keeps it on that side. Trollano looking to make it happen para dito sa NLEX. They go right over to Clark. 30 points already, as Coach RG mentioned. Clark, tatlo kumuyog sa kanya. Huli si Sirs at naiwan pa. 5-on-4 to para sa Ginebra. Yun, nakabalik na si Clark, but Chan is open. Jeffrey Allen makes it a 9-point lead para sa Ginebra. First, it was LA, and then the defense of Ginebra eating up Clark. And then, for an exclamation point, si Jeff Chan ang titira. And that forces Coach Yang into this timeout. 87-78, Ginebra by 9. At this point, let's take a look at how the imports have done so far. +7 si Clark sa puntos, +2 pagdating ng rebounds. Pero yung efficiency, paano ba? 50% yung Brownlee. A little under 50% si Clark.
29 attempts already for Clark, and you can't blame him because it's really the focal point on offense for NLEX. What for JB? A lot of players just in the nick of time, scoring a lot of baskets here in the fourth quarter. Talked about the accuracy and the consistency of LA Tenorio in the entire ball game with a total of 19 points. What about Scottie Thompson? Scoreless in the first quarter, but now with a total of 13 and 7 happening here in the fourth.
Sama mo pa na 9 rebounds yan, ha? 9 pa rin ba hanggang ngayon? 9 pa rin, ano?
Parang ganon. Sigurado na tayo dyan. Predict ko na ba?
Namiss ko yan, ha? Namiss ko yan, ha? Yung mga gabuhok na lang tsaka mahuhulaan.
Maraming nainis sa atin dahil sigurista raw ako. Sasabihin ko pag sigurado na eh.
Kaya naman pwede natin pagmalaking 100% batting average mo, Coach RG. Clark in the lane. No. He's trying to do all he can. Ang problema yung suporta niya, kukulang-kulang.
That is already the 30th attempt for Clark in this ball game.
Oh, what a pass! Nilubalang para kay Scottie. How about that no-look dime by LA?
So two things that will happen there. Ang sama na loob ni Scottie is not really because he missed a shot, but he robbed one assist away from LA Tenorio. But for LA, it's okay for as long as they were able to get the possession back. It was actually an easy basket for Scottie Thompson, but he missed. Good thing Sand Hardinger was there to get the offensive rebound. And now, yun na. So goaltending violation pala. So 1 assist kay LA Tenorio, 2 points para rito kay Scottie Thompson. 15 na si Scottie sa ball game.
So nakuha naman pala.
Oo.
And more importantly for Ginebra, 11 na ang abante nila. NLEX is in dire need of a basket. That might be the understatement of the night. Trollano dancing with Jeff. Goes to the spin. Sinagupa ni Brownlee. Huli ka!
So ito na yung depensang ginagawa ng Ginebra. They're allowing the guards of NLEX to just dribble and get to the paint because the defense is always available.
Semerad with a near steal. Couldn't handle it though. 2:55 remaining here. Parang tumama sa pader yung NLEX, Coach RG.
Oo nga. So ito si Coach Yengyao finding answers, trying to score against a tough defensive stance by Barangay Ginebra, especially in the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Nakaw.
Nasisiraan na ng loob itong NLEX, pati yung kanilang individual coverages, nawawala na rin sila sa kanilang vision.
That was 4.5 seconds of excellent defense. Yung last half second, nanakawan pa sila ni JB. Ano?
Tama yan.
That's another assist for LA, by the way. As Kevin, no.
So Kevin had back-to-back threes to open this ball game in the first quarter, but so far has been defended so well.
Coach Tim wants to talk things over. They want to make sure they do not squander this opportunity to maybe put NLEX away.
It didn't look like it, especially when Barangay Ginebra down by a big deficit, 16 to be exact, 39 to 23. Then all of a sudden, they just stepped on the gas and there's no turning back for them.
91-78 ang ating score sa ngayon. Yun yung knockout play, RG.
And many times I've seen this. Miscommunication on defense. Nawawala yung kanilang vision dun sa kanilang respective assignment on defense. Nabibigyan ng madagdaling tira itong Barangay Ginebra. But more than that, we've talked about yung number 1 offensive team in the first 11 games. Yan ay ang NLEX. 109 points per ball game in the first 11 games in the elimination round. But so far, 78. So hirap na hirap talaga silang maka-score. But we also have to put an asterisk. Yung 11 games, si KJ McDaniels yun. Diba? Pero ngayon, itong laban na to, si Clark, okay naman, 30 points. Pero so many attempts at 30 attempts as well.
The only time they scored this low, yung game 1 versus Alaska, 79 lang sila.
Yun,
Diba?
tama.
Kaya sila na force into that do or die eh, di ba?
But after that game, maganda yung kanilang recovery. Nung second game, they had a total of 96 points. But it is really hard to win against Ginebra if you just score 78 points.
May panaka-naka eh na naging scoring from the locals of NLEX. Merong kinyahan moments, merong kang alas. Ang problema, walang nagtuloy-tuloy, no? Kaya walang nakaagapay talaga itong si Clark.
Tama yan. Samantala, JB, now the most 3-pointers among imports. Galing talaga, no?
Hindi lang niya siguro mahahabol talaga yung scoring title ni Coach Norman Black.
Maraming, hindi na.
11 milyon eh. 11 milyon eh.
Iba yon.
Ito yung mga laro natin ngayong darating na Bernes. Babalik ta rin lang natin yung schedule, Coach Archie.
Yes. So kanina, ito ang second game natin, pero pagdating sa Biyernes, ito ang ating magiging first game. NLEX versus Barangay Ginebra. Ang ating second game naman, Meralco Bolts versus Magnolia Hotshots.
Palapit na ang 2-minute warning sa MOA Arena, and you're gonna listen to this crowd roar.
And a change up on defense. You gotta give that to Barangay Ginebra.
Pagka lamang kasi ang koponan mo, tuwan-tuwa ka marinig yung last 2 minutes. Pero pag ikaw yung naghahabol, teka lang, may panic ka na pag narinig mo na yung announcement na yan.
Pero kung ganito nakalaki, gusto mo na rin matapos na. Bawi ka na lang sa game 2.
Game 2 na.
At yung nabanggit natin.
Yun yung ibang series mentality, Coach Archie.
Oo. You don't win a best of 5 series by winning just one game. It takes 3 wins for you to advance to the finals. Yan ngayon ang iniisip ni Coach Sheng. They started well but they were not able to play consistent basketball all throughout the 48 minutes of this game. While on the other hand, for Coach Tim Cone, you're very happy because masama yung kanilang start but they had a better finish.
Ang isang malaking question mark for the next, 3 o'clock yung start. Alas 8 na ngayon. So, 43 for the next 43 hours. Tama ba, Matt ko? 3 o'clock start eh, 5 hours.
Ingingiti ko na lang yan dahil mahina rin ako dyan.
So, for the next 43 hours, ang tanong, si Japit ba? Can he go in Game 2?
That is a big question and an enormous shoes to fill for the other players in tonight's game. Swerte sila dahil meron silang Arvin Tolentino who had 11 points, 3 3-pointers, and a basket inside the white line.
In about 8 minutes, let's point that out.
Yes, tama yan. But more than that, yun bang timing, ang ganda eh. Dahil, alam mo, tine-check ko yung statistics natin against TNT. Niwala siya ron eh. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya naglaro. So, ganun kaganda yung mindset at yung pagiging ready ni Arvin Tolentino in this ball game.
Ano yun, yun yung staying ready. And you love that about players. Sa buong coaching career mo, yun yung, sige, wala ka palagi, hindi ka palagi nagagamit, pero pag tinawag mo pangalan, kailangan.
And
diba?
that is usually the teaching of all coaches. The moment your number is called or your name is called, you have to be ready. Because maski hindi ka naglalaro, at binigyan ka ng tsansa, masama yung laro mo, babalik ka lang dun sa dulo ng bench.
Matik yun.
Pero pag binigyan ka ng pagkakataon, naglaro ka ng maganda, all of a sudden, you will be part of the rotation in the next game.
Yun ang matindi doon. So itong Barangay Ginebra, up by 13. Has Rosales finally burying a 3. Pangbaon siguro yan for the second game. Pero nakawala na. Itong Barangay Ginebra ng tuluyan, 1-0 to para sa Barangay Ginebra. The defending champions of the Governor's Cup. Matagal nang walang Govs Cup, kaya Ginebra pa rin yung huling nag-champion dito. Sila pa rin ang defending champion.
Tama yan. They're gonna take this first game. But for NLEX, there's still a lot of chances for them to recover. A basket by Christian Standhardinger. Offensively for Coach Sheng Giao, they have to get better dun sa kanilang efficiency and accuracy from the 3-point area. They had 32 attempts and they only made 6. So yun ngayon ang naging difference maker, and it is actually more evident because Zumona Ginebra. So kailangan talaga mas maganda ang outside shooting mo.
Huli nating nakita ang Ginebra dito sa MOA, bumabagsak yung confetti. Nag-champion sila in that Governor's Cup January 17, 2020. 2 years, 2 months, 6 days to the day, nagbalik ang PBA dito sa Pasay. Barangay Ginebra about to take a 1-0 lead in this race to 3.
They're up by 12 right now, 95-83, with 14.4 seconds remaining. It's all over except for the final score. So a lot of tinkering, a lot of adjustments on the side of Coach Yang Giao and the entire NLEX team. They're gonna look at the tape and they will see why are they not getting baskets from the outside, even if it's a zone. It is probably just balance, it's probably just spacing, it's probably just ability to put that leather inside the rim.
95-86, your final score. Barangay Ginebra storming back from an early 16-point deficit to take Game 1 in this best-of-5 semis. Yan na nga po ang ating final score, 95-86. Bibitaw na tayo sa TV5 pero tuloy-tuloy tayo sa One Sports. So, L.A. Tenorio, the best player of game number 1, Coach RG. 18, 6, and 6 stat line ni Teniente.
And we had to give it to him because of the way he consistently played offense and also not just scoring but also assisting. But more than that, there was a lull wherein they had a hard time scoring. It was all L.A. Tenorio in the second quarter. A total of 19 points for the grizzled veteran.
At si L.A. ay kasama ni Denise.
Our best player of the game, L.A. Tenorio, 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. L.A., you held NLEX scoreless for 5.5 minutes when you had that 15-0 run. Describe lang the focus, yung hustle na pinakita ng buong Ginebra team tonight.
Well, actually, we really started flat, no? We really started slow. So we cannot do that talaga against, especially against NLEX, very aggressive. No, we really have to be aggressive. So on that time, we talked about it. We really have to have sense of urgency. Kasi this game is very important. No? Game 1, especially on the short series, sobrang importante talaga ng strong start. So you know, we have to pick up our defense, no, and then sa offense, yun nga, swerte nakakashoot kami. So I think. More than our offense, it's really our defense.
You know, by winning Game 1, pupuwersahin nyo ngayon tong NLEX to win 3 out of the next 4 games. Gaano kabigat yan as we move along with the series?
Well, itong Game 1 na to malaking bagay, no? Kasi, yun nga, going to Game 2, may momentum kami. But knowing NLEX, knowing Coach Sheng, lahat ng team ni Coach Sheng, laging ano yan, they will really come back stronger and very aggressive in the next game. So we really have to be focused on that, and we don't have any time to celebrate kasi wala pa naman kami na-achieve on this game because we know NLEX that they will really come back strong next game.
Either way, congratulations and great job as always.
Thank you.
Now let's send it over to the press room with Coach Tim Cone.
Welcome to the post-game interview. We are here at Barangay Ginebra, head coach Tim Cone. Coach, congrats. Early in the fourth, NLEX came back to tie the game, but you responded with a run and held NLEX scoreless from the 6:58 mark of the fourth up to the last minute. What are your thoughts on this strong finish?
Well, we're glad we certainly finished it strong because we really needed the game. We needed the win because we don't know exactly where Japeth is going to be. He went out with a calf injury that he suffered actually originally in our game against Talkentex. So we don't know how long or how, whether he's going to be back in the series or what at this point. Calf injuries are really delicate. So it was really important that we at least get the first game so we have a kind of a margin for error playing without Japeth through the rest of the way. Now we still need to get a couple more rather than imagine having to go and get 3 out of 4 without Japeth. So that run down the stretch that we were able to do without Japeth was crucial. We stepped up defensively and we hit some shots. Guys made some nice plays offensively. And that's what it's going to take to beat a Yangao team. You have to be able to grind out the game. He's going to make you grind it, and we were able to do it today. We'll see if we can do it on Friday. Alaska basically did the same thing, in game 1 of their series, and then they got beat up in the second game. So we got to make sure we don't get beat up in the second game, which is the way Yangao's teams usually come out.
Coach, it's a best of 5 series, and winning game 1 moves you closer at least.
Absolutely crucial, correct. Game 1 is absolutely crucial in a short series, whether it be a best of 3 or a best of 5 or twice to beat. Game 1 is very telling. So I'd be really happy right now. I mean, I'd be ecstatic that we got game 1, but it's kind of tempered because we lost Japeth, and we don't know the status of Japeth yet. So. And we really won't know that until tomorrow, because we'll have to see how much it swells, how much pain he has, and we won't know that till tomorrow. But hopefully, we got it early and it didn't get real bad. I haven't talked to the trainers yet. I don't know if there was a loud pop or what. Like I said, I'd be very, very happy about this win, but. This one was certainly tempered by Japeth's injury.
Coach, Denison po. Coach, you've been looking for that end game poise towards the latter part of the elimination phase, and now you're finally finding it in the most crucial of times. What can you say about having that again at this stage?
I know people made a big deal about playoff Brownlee. Suddenly he's just stepping up because it's the playoffs. And yes, there is a little bit of that, but generally it's the fact, in my mind anyway, he's just getting in better shape. He was off basically for 2 years. He played a short time in the Middle East, but he hadn't played competitive basketball for quite a while. He came in, he was one of the last imports to arrive. It was a struggle for him to get his wind, to get his legs. When you're shooting the ball poorly, it's usually because you don't have legs. Your legs are not strong. You don't have a strong base. But he has built his base up, and he's playing much better. So, he's right now he's starting to peak at this point in terms of shape and in terms of game. And when you have him in the last 6 minutes of a basketball game, he makes a huge difference. I mean, he blocked shots. He got rebounds. He made huge shots. He made free throws. He's an incredible closer and always has been for us. That's his reputation. But I think that just, he's starting to just get to where he wants to be right now. He's starting to feel good. And I think that people didn't really take that into account when they thought he was struggling early in the conference. But he's there now, and it makes the down the stretch basketball a lot easier when you got a guy like that you can go to on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, Justin from Tiebreaker Times. Coach, how difficult is it for you to, with this kind of uncertainty surrounding Japeth, knowing that he also suffered any injury back in Bacolor?
It is difficult. Like I said, it's put a real damper on our win. But it's, the thing with injuries, I think from a coaching standpoint, and even from a team standpoint, you can only feel bad about it for 10 minutes. And then you got to move on, because it is a team sport. There are other guys who can step up and fill the role. You just got to get those guys who are stepping up and filling the role to put them in a position to be able to play their best basketball and not let them try to fill the shoes of Japeth, because his shoes are unfillable. No one plays like Japeth. But you've got to now figure out a way to get this guy to be effective here or there. And that's why you forget the injury and, you kind of set it aside. Like I said, you can't feel bad about it. And now you got to start thinking, okay, what do we do now? What's our next step? And, that's already a process that we're already into. Our coaching staff is already into the process. Same thing with Stanley when we lost Stanley. The idea when we lost Stanley was, feel really bad. I was crying a little bit. And then, but 10 minutes, you got to be out of it, and you got to be thinking something else, you know? And so that's basically how we're going to treat Japeth. And I think that's basically how coaches treat injuries. Fans feel a lot worse about injuries than coaches do.
Hi, Coach. You talked about, I believe, in the elimination round, about someone from your team taking over that sixth-man spot, and I believe...
The fifth-man spot, actually.
Fifth man.
Yeah.
And I believe Arvin Tolentino...
He did today. He stepped up and hit some shots. He's been really struggling. I'm so happy for Arvin right now. I'm actually also really pleased with the way Jeff has been playing. I thought you were going to say Jeff, actually, because Jeff has been playing extremely well. He's not necessarily hitting a bunch of shots, but he's playing really, really intelligently and helping us on both sides of the ball. And I really like that. And that's his edge right now over Arvin, who is a younger player who doesn't quite have that veteran presence. But Arvin stepping up and hitting some shots today, that was huge for us. That was absolutely huge. And, you know, he doesn't have to make every shot. And I think that's the pressure he feels like he has to make every shot. You know, nobody makes every shot. But if he can hit one or two through the course of his time out on the floor, that's huge for us. So we've been waiting for that, and it was nice to get it tonight. Hopefully he can carry that over the game too. But in the meantime, I think Jeff has been really underrated in our success, and nobody's been talking about him. But the minutes he's been playing, the key minutes, I thought he played a tremendous game against Talkatex in game one, especially game one, and then he played another really good game tonight. You know, we're finding those guys, or you know, the guys are starting to step into it now a little bit.
Coach, someone was asking to talk about LA's performance.
Well, you know, LA is now. If you want to talk about a playoff guy, you know, you talk about playoff Brownlee. I think that even more importantly, you talk about playoff Tenorio. I mean, he always steps up big in playoffs and big games. He's had that big game attitude since 19 Forgotten. You know, I mean, he has always brought it. Always. He went Ateneo, you know, and he was in the amateurs. He was in the national team. And with Alaska, when I was with Alaska, and he and I were there together, and then here, he's always been that guy that's played big games and big moments, and he's not afraid of the moment. He never is. He's one of those, you know, players that is just not afraid of the moment. And in that respect, he reminds me a little bit of the coach on the other side, Jojo Lastimosa, who's on the other side. Yeah, Jojo was always the, you know, the fourth quarter man, and LA steps up in big moments like Jojo used to do that.
Coach, is Japeth's injury the same he had in Bacolor?
No, I don't think so. In the second Talkatex game, he had it hit with someone kicked him in the calf, and there's a bruise on the muscle, and it weakened the muscle. So, like I said, I haven't spoken to him now. I don't know if it actually popped or what happened to the muscle or he got hit again. I don't know. I lack information at this point. So, I believe it's the right calf, yeah. He missed the 2 days of practice, last 2 days of practice, because he was not sturdy on it. So we don't know if it got worse or what happened. I mean, I don't have any info. I'll try to find out something when I get to the locker room, but again, I think we'll know more tomorrow. It's usually what you know about injuries 24 hours later, or 12 or 14 hours later, you see what the injury is.
With no more questions, that ends our post-game presser with Coach Tim Cone. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Which gives us the cue to go right into the highlights. First quarter, game 1 of a best of 5 between NLEX and Ginebra. Tatlong tres kagad ang binaw ng NLEX, maaga pa lang.
It was a good start for NLEX. 2 3-pointers from Kevin Alas. But ito naman Barangay Ginebra. They actually struggled in the first quarter. They had a listless start. But towards the second part, at least, of the second quarter, medyo nakabawi sila.
27-21, make that 29-21 at that juncture. At matatapos yung ating first quarter, 6 mga abante ng NLEX.
Nung panimula ng second quarter, ganun pa rin. It was really NLEX who scored a lot of baskets. They led by as big as 16 points until LA Tenorio happened. LA had 12 points in the second quarter. They played better defense itong Barangay Ginebra. Nakashoot itong si Kevin Alas, but na-erase yung lamang ng NLEX from 16. It went down 2 because of big highlight plays like this one.
45-43 was the score at the halftime break, as we got to take another look at that nice drop by LA for Japet. At dyan nga po nag-break ang parehong koponan dito sa Game 1. Third quarter now coming up. It was Ginebra now ahead 61-58. And then Arvin Tolentino happened para dito sa Barangay.
He was a spark plug. He was not even utilized in their game against TNT. He was struggling offensively in that series, but tonight he had 11 points. But the ultra-consistent ball player who plays a big-time playoff basketball from, according to Coach Tim Cone, hindi niya na nga matandaan kung kailan naglaro. Ito si LA Tenorio, but good shot for Clark to end the third quarter. They were still down by 6 points, 70-64.
Pagdating ng fourth, we pick it up with less than 7 minutes to go. Nice acrobatic finish by Clark. He poured in a lot of points, but on a lot of shot attempts as well.
He had a total of 30 points. But in the end, the accuracy from the outside, ball movement, timing of those baskets. Scottie Thompson, first three-pointer happening in the fourth quarter. And the extra pass once again, Jeff Chan. Very happy si Coach Tim Cone dito dahil he's playing consistent basketball. He still has that ability to shoot from the outside. A huge 95-86 victory for Barangay Ginebra to take a 1-0 lead.
Sa Biyernes, baliktaran ng ating schedule. Mas maaga itong Barangay Ginebra NLEX, alas 3 ng hapon. Susundan ng salpukang Magnolia at Meralco. Both Ginebra and Magnolia will be looking for a 2-0 lead.
Tama yan. So talagang the adjustment and the burden will be on the side of NLEX and Meralco Bolts.
Sa langalan ng lahat ng bumubuo ng ating team ngayong gabi, sa pangunguna siyempre ni Jerome Trio, nagpapasalamat kami sa inyong pagtutok. Hanggang sa Biyernes po, sabay-sabay nating tutukan ang mga pangyayari dito sa ating PBA Governors Cup.